The rankings released to coincide with the UN's International Day of Happiness places South Africa at 101 on the list of 155 countries. The report was first published in 2012 and is increasingly seen as an important measure of how well a country is doing in terms of social progress.
They say happiness is a fundamental human goal, but that social, economic and other factors often determine the levels of happiness the citizens of any one country can achieve.
There are probably many definitions of happiness, as there are people on this planet. For each of us has our own perception of what makes us happy. But I think all of us would agree that a useful definition is contained in the preamble of the United Nations Charter, in which governments pledge to promote better standards of life in larger freedom. Better lives and freedom for ourselves, our families, our communities, our nations. And I think that's really what we all want.
Western Europe dominates the top 10, with Canada at 7, New Zealand at 8 and Australia at 9. The United States is ranked 14th happiest place, while South Africa finds itself at a lowly 101. Algeria is the best placed African country at 53, with Mauritius, Libya, Morocco, Nigeria and Somalia all ahead of South Africa on the continent.
So it is with the SDGs and with the happiness of our society. We need to tend to all aspects of well-being to create happiness. And that is why GDP alone is no way to gauge the happiness and well-being of a nation. It is why the SDGs stress that we must leave no one behind, and we must reach those that are most in need first. Our societies cannot be happy while the vulnerable and marginalized continue to suffer, nor can we be sustainably happy while the environment declines. That is why the SDGs place equal weight on social, economic and environmental development. Or to put it another way, social, economic and environmental well-being.
Countries were not just scored on GDP per capita, but on several key factors.
Among the other variables considered is the measurement in the life expectancy of individuals, social support, for example, having someone to rely on during times of hardship, trust as it relates to corruption in government and business, and freedoms, human rights, and so on. Syria placed 152nd out of 155 countries, while Tanzania, Burundi, and the Central African Republic are at the very bottom of the list. Sherman Bryce, please, SABC News, New York.